Hi guys, today we're going to be talking about the movie Elf and the character arcs within it. So screenwriters, directors, and actors, listen up, because you're going to be learning a lot about how the movie Elf does it. So what's interesting is, though, a character arc, what it is it's how a character changes, how they go through character development, and how they become one person into another.
Your father, well, he's on the naughty list.
Sometimes completely or fully, sometimes just by little bits, sometimes it's over a short period of time, so specifically for side characters or small part characters. Sometimes it's for over the course of the entire movie. Hint, that tends to be the main character. And interesting enough, at the ends, we go over groups, how groups of characters within a movie can all change together. And that happens a few times. And then there are characters that don't have any character arcs at all.
I'm Buddy the Elf.
You look hilarious. Who sent you?
And that's okay, because they serve their purpose as a single power in their own way. And so let's dive into it and look at the character arcs of Elf. So we're going to be talking about Will Ferrell's character, Buddy, the man-human who is raised by elves. And his character arc starts about minute 10.
Maybe by next Christmas you'll have a home.
And guess what? That's his story arc. Well, I guess he's got a couple of them, but his big story arc is him finding a home. And he first finds a home when he's adopted by the elves. But that is short-lived. He doesn't quite belong there. He kind of stands out like a sore thumb. So it's home, but it's not quite a place that he belongs to. And then he's looking for a place that is with his dad, his dad that he learns about. And he finally finds a place with him and their family.
I need to tell you something.
Buddy, there's something I have to tell you right now.
And that's part of his character arc there. But then it goes even deeper. It's with his girlfriend and then future wife, Jovi. And he starts a family of his own at the very end of the movie. Now it's interesting. Sometimes in movies, the main character's character arc tends to last a long time. But in other movies, the character arc kind of stops or kind of comes to a resolution right before the climax of the movie. He changes in the person he needs to become, so he will be able to survive and power through and conquer the climax. That's not what happens in Elf, though. In Elf, it goes to the very end of the movie. New York City is that main character that it needs to be conquered and changed for the movie climax to happen. Now, what's great about Elf is that a lot of the characters, the side characters, have their own character arcs. And that's great. It makes for a more enriching experience for everybody. And the character arc of Papa Elf starts 6 minutes in when he says that he wants to be a dad. There's a slow tracking shot, dolly shot, as the narrator talks, and we get to see who the narrator is again, but this time we realize he's also in the world and that he wants to be a father. And then 7 minutes later, Papa Elf lets his adopted son Buddy to explore and make a life for himself. And so what's really interesting there is it's just a short little bit, and Papa Elf is pretty much stagnant and just kind of not doing anything. You don't even hear from him very much throughout the rest of the movie until the end, where you have a little scene with him. But it doesn't matter so much. His character deserved and needed a character arc, even for those 7 minutes. And it's great that the filmmakers gave that to him. Now let's talk about the main female lead, Jovi, Buddy's soon-to-be girlfriend.
I really can't stay.
Baby, it's cold outside. And what's interesting thing about her is she's got 2 character arcs. And I think the reason why is she's got the relationship that she has with Buddy, and she falls for Buddy, so that is important to Buddy, and we are rooting for that. And that's one of her character arcs. But I think what the filmmakers wanted to do is they wanted to give her to grow in some other way that wasn't just related to, Maybe because it's a man. I think Hollywood is about trying to make women feel that they're more independent and that they're not just beholden to men. And so how she grows in another way is she becomes confident enough to sing in front of other people.
Best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear.
Thanks, but I don't sing.
Oh, it's easy. It's just like talking, except louder and longer, and you move your voice up and down.
I can sing, but I just choose not to sing.
And then at the end, she saves the day by starting the singing in the Central Park.
You better watch out.
And what's great about that is it also works in another way for the film. The character or the group of characters that we're going to be talking about later for New York City is she kind of instigates New York City to change and New York City to go through a way. And it's what's great, and we'll talk about this in a different group too, is an individual helping a group change or show a group change. Hopefully our movies have the main character with a character arc, but it's even better if the side characters have character arcs like an elf. But there are characters that don't have those character arcs. They don't, like Santa, for example, who's also the damsel in distress in the middle of the movie in the climax. He doesn't have a character arc.
Central Park Ranger.
He represents an ideal. Then there is Walter, Buddy's dad. He has a secretary who's got this great, like, I feel like it's a Starbucks person. She must have this armor about her because she works for this tough as nails guy who's not very nice, Walter, and she's still got this great attitude and so bubbly and nice. And she doesn't have a character arc because she has nowhere to grow to. She's already great the way she is. And then there's also the Gimbel's manager. The Gimbel's manager, he is not great the way he is, and that's fine. He epitomizes New York City and the world that doesn't have a Christmas spirit and is all about business and work. And he's just kind of a one-note character who's interesting, and he plays it interesting, but he doesn't change because it doesn't change until the climax of the movie. Yeah, so he's kind of the antagonist parts of the movie, and the antagonists they do change. Some of them do change. Some of them they don't just lose the battle that they're in. Sometimes they do go through changes, but that doesn't happen. It tends to happen the same kind of arc trajectory, the same length of time as a protagonist character. It happens more at the climax rather than in the middle of it. You might see hints that it's starting to happen, but you don't see the change actually happen. And the Gimbel's manager doesn't have that length of a time, so we don't see his changes happening. So now let's talk about groups. Now this is a really interesting one, and I think the pattern that I've noticed with Elf and what they've done is we're talking about two different groups in Elf that go through a character arc or a group arc character arc. And the first one is the Greenway Publishing House mailroom that Buddy is sent to his dad to get him out of his hair. And we are introduced to this group of guys, and there's this rap music that's being played in the music. They're all rough-looking guys. It's almost like a prison environment. It feels like a prison environment. And so that's who they are. And there's not a lot of Christmas spirit there or joy. And then that really contrasts with Buddy's attitude and Buddy's level of personality. And what we do is we're introduced to one specific person in the mailroom. And what they do with that is we get to learn that these are people. They're nuanced people, and that they can be changed. And Buddy, you can see the little changes that Buddy enacts upon this one character, and that character goes through a character arc. And then when we cut to the wide of everybody in the mailroom dancing and Buddy dancing and everyone having a great time, we've ridden the arc through following that one character, but the whole mailroom has been taken along for that ride in that character arc. So if you're looking to have a group, which might be a fun thing to have in your film, think about using one single character, picking out one character of that to kind of show that character arc going forward and moving forward. And then the second group is New York City or the world. They talk about in the film that there's not enough Christmas spirit and to keep Santa's sleigh from flying on its own, and they need a rocket to fly the sleigh now that there's not enough power. And what they do is here with Jovi and her Christmas spirit is what moves the needle and gets the group to change, instigates the city to change. So it's kind of an interesting thing. It kind of works in both ways, where Buddy made the guy in the mailroom change. That's Jovi. She instigates that, starting the singing for the whole city to go through that change. And also, Jovi herself is part of the group that needs to change. So I think it's interesting. She plays kind of a dual role in there. And also, Buddy's a stepbrother also does a little bit of this as well. And that's the thing that saves the climax of the movie and gets Santa's sleigh up in the air again. So it wasn't Buddy's character arc that did it. It's the city's, and it's Jovi's too. So she's really got an integral role. She's not just some woman who falls in love with the main character and he falls for her. She's got a very important role in this. Now, thanks for taking a look with me at the movie Elf and the character arcs within. I think it really will help you if you're a director, plotting how your characters will change, and also if you might want to change the script some. For screenwriters, for understanding how your characters need to change and how you can add depth and meaning to your story. And then also to actors. I think actors specifically, and directors, I guess too, you need to be thinking about a few things about how your character works. You need to think about how they change and how they work to support the rising tension of the story and the climax of the story and how the story moves and how the protagonist grows too. So when you're thinking about your character breakdown, don't just think about it in terms of how your character grows, which is going to be extremely important to you. You want to think about also and how it supports the arc of the film itself, the structure of the film itself. You know what? I really enjoyed talking with you guys. I really enjoyed watching the movie Elf again in time for Christmas. But I want to say Merry Christmas to you guys all. And thanks for watching the movie Elf. We're going to be making more different kinds of concepts about how you can grow as a director with us. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.